And welcome back, everybody. I am Lezren, and picking up right where I left off last time, I think what I'm going to be doing is, taking this mission to the moon. I was sitting here thinking about it for a little bit, and I thought about maybe redesigning this just a little bit and possibly leaving most, if not all, of the science instruments actually on the moon. But I'm thinking I might just go with the way I have it now, because I mean I can get out and actually take all the science out of these if I really wanted to, but there's really no actual reason to. So they're all pretty cheap, and I mean this did work last time, so I should be okay to take it, as long as I am super careful on the actual approach. So the only thing I really want to do right now is check an abort procedure. Basically, I want to decouple, deploy, and come on. No. Deploy. That's probably as much as I really care, but I'm going to go ahead and decouple that. I want to shut down any engines I can. So shut down. Let's go ahead and toggle the decouple. I mean, ideally I have Sepatrons to shoot my capsule out of the way, but I'm hoping this will work. It's already in there, isn't it? Or is it? Let's see. Shut down. It shouldn't be running anyway, but just in case. TR-18. Oh, it is in there. Okay. I just like to add all the engine shutdowns just in case they're firing. The only thing that is a wild card would be the solid states, but ideally, as long as these aren't actually having a problem, I'll probably abort after they burn out, if at all possible. So otherwise, if I do jettison these, I mean it's going to shoot and just probably destroy everything. Alright, so I'm going to save it, check my staging one last time. Yep, looks good. That's a $60,000 rocket. Okay, once that decouples, yep, that's good. I think I am good to go with this. Let me check my science. That's an underwater. I think I've got everything I can get. I don't have an antenna, so I can't actually send science back, but as long as I have a Kerbal, it shouldn't matter because I can just store it in the capsule. The only other thing I would do, honestly, is probably move this decoupler up either right here, right above the Science Junior, or even above all these, and only bring the capsule back, along with probably a ant engine and a small fuel. So let's see. I am gonna keep that mono. Actually, I might dump it, but no, I'll keep it for now. I'll dump it before I leave, most likely, but we'll see. I don't know. It's all subject to change, so we'll see what happens. All right, let's actually build this. If I think of anything else, I'll come back and stop it and then rebuild it. But I think that's it. I actually did download one, technically one mod, which is near future, but it's only electrical, solar, and construction. I didn't go propulsion or anything like that, so it's not game changing. It just adds extra solar panels and whatnot, which is kind of what I want, because the stock ones are kind of lacking in a lot of regard. So capacitor, don't need that right now yet, but I think I have it. Okay, it is being built. It's going to take a while, but it will be built. It will actually take a little over 10 days to build it, which is fine because I have 6 for Launchpad anyway, so there is that. I don't really want to do two episodes of nothing but building, otherwise I'd probably try to build an airplane or something along those lines. Yeah, I will go ahead and buy that stuff. Why not? I was kind of hoping, honestly, to get a solar panel out of the mod I installed, but it's fine. Where is the capacitor? I don't see it. I'm looking for the little number. Interesting. I saw it in the VAB, but I don't see it as being researched here. Unless I'm just blind, which is entirely possible. Alright, where's the battery? Battery. Probably down here. Yeah, it's telling me to purchase them, but it's not showing up. Okay, yeah, it is in there. It should have a little number, like a number 1, saying there's one unpurchased item in there, but such is life, it's fine. I'm wondering if I have... may have a mod in there twice or something. There should only be 3 of these. Something's wonky. Anyway, I can fix that later. That shouldn't affect anything. Famous last words, should not affect anything. Okay. I do need to get another satellite up in space. I did build one, and I was successful in almost every, I should say, almost every launch I did, I was successful. But I can go ahead and build it. It'll launch after the moon lander. Let's go ahead and load it up. I was really wanting to wait until I had the better solar panels, but I believe this will work just fine. I tested all of it, and it does actually work. Like, I didn't test... honestly, I didn't test if the battery is enough battery to make it through the dark side, but everything else is plenty and more than enough in a lot of ways. So there's plenty of generation from panels for all 4 of my comms dishes. So, and I ended up, funny enough, I ended up putting struts in here to keep the wobble down. And shortly after that, I read the dev notes for 1. Was it 1.5 or 1.2 with this 64-bit that they're working on. And they're finally adding virtual struts. So whenever you actually close something up in a fairing, it'll put struts in there. Not really, I don't know if it'll be visible, but it will have them in there so that it won't wobble inside the actual fairing, which is nice. Something procedural fairings has had for a long time, but they, for some reason, decided not to do in stock. To their own detriment, in my opinion, but And I did redesign the launcher just a little bit, and it seems to work quite a bit better. I put a tri-coupler on there, hug the stack a little bit closer together, and it was a very successful launcher actually. So I will probably actually need to save it. So let me do that real quick. This will be, because this, yeah, that's my old one. And I have 3 stabilizers in there. This should be much more aerodynamic. I mean, far more aerodynamic than my old one. So that was probably the biggest reason for the success of it. Let's see, do I want... This is going to be just a straight launcher, so I'm going to take from the decoupler. Let's do body MK3. Actually going to reload it just in case. That was nav set MK3 with launcher. And I may end up actually putting this launcher, well, I'm sitting there thinking maybe I'll put it on the Moonlander, because this is a lot better launcher. I minimized the gimbal. I locked the gimbal. That way the winglets were actually able to work properly. And it kept a lot of the wobble down. Yeah, let me... Yes. I mean, it wasn't built at all anyway. Maybe a few minutes in between, so... Let's go ahead and... Nope, wrong one. I'm going to check the staging on this real quick. And I'm going to build it. And then I'm going to load the Moonlander and I'm going to change the launcher and then build it. Because I forgot I had done the launcher on this one, but not on the Moonlander. So... Okay, so let's build it. Moonlander MK1 launcher. Okay, so let's get rid of you. Let's put the MK3 in. Put some little struts on there. We will tie them to the tri-coupler. Alright, same launcher should do exactly the same thing when it comes to launching it, like the same delta V, all that good stuff. It's the exact same thing, I just changed it. Theoretically. So, let me check all this. Yeah, see my... I really jacked up everything in there. Okay, so, let's see. Let's make one, put you in there. Let's make one, put you in there. You... Okay, which one goes first? $65. That's right, I made these equal. Because they're too close together to go separately, so I actually need to move them and combine them. Good, good. I have no fairing to worry about, but I do need that guy. Down there. So let's see that engine. Separates and then fires. That will separate, and then I can fire those two. Then those will break off, and I can fire the final engine. And when all said and done, I can ditch the engine and everything else for re-entry. Okay, save that. Total delta V is 6,900. I didn't look. I think it was the same. Honestly, I don't. Actually, there we go. 5510. It'll be a little bit more than that because it is actually calculating delta V for the first stages in the atmosphere. And then when you're out of the atmosphere, I mean, total. I don't know if this is total in atmosphere for this. I don't know exactly how that's calculating it, but it'll be between 5,500 and probably 6,500, somewhere in there. It's a pretty large margin, I know, but it's what it is. So let's build. I want the Moonlander first. 12 days. It might update when I switch, so let's get out of here. Nope. Okay, 12 days. For some reason, I didn't add anything to the launcher, but it did add time. So, interesting. Alright, let's just warp to Moonlander 1. Blinding light in your eyes. Alright, 2 days to roll out. Let's warp to that. And I actually want to launch in the morning, so I'm going to warp to the next day even. This will actually be ready as well. Probably by the time I get to the moon or so. Okay, so we are at launch time. Let's see, who do I have in there? I'm going to probably take Jeb. I could take... Shit, what am I doing? Add. I could take Valentina. I could even take, what is it? Halsey? For all intents and purposes, Valentina and Jeb are exactly the same. I'll take Valentina. This is somewhat dangerous. This is kind of an unproven rocket. I have tried it out, but we do have an abort, so if we have to, we can abort. Let's do it. This is actually the real thing, so we'll see what happens. Okay. Just making sure before I launch. I don't want full throttle. I shouldn't need it. At least I don't think I need it. Shit, I don't remember, honestly. It's been about a week since I actually set this thing up. Maybe I will go full. I can always... I'll always throttle down if I have to, so... Okay. Let's get in here. Let's set up our nav system. No. Need the nav ball, not the map. There we go. Wrong button. Let's do orbit. We are going to do a target on Celestial of the moon. But it's going to be a while. So actually, let's go back to Kerbin. Let's see, can I go back to... There we go. But let's look at, I don't have vessel, I don't have that, I don't have that, I don't have that. Okay. There's a few mods I need to actually install, like vessel viewer. I would like to have igniter. I think it might be working right now, but I'm not sure. So that's kind of an iffy thing, honestly. Okay, we're in the atmosphere. We have... Is this what I actually want? No, let's just leave it on here. I can look at my fuel, I can look at everything else. There's my periapsis, apoapsis. All that good stuff. Velocity, altitude, surface speed. Pretty much everything you need to know is right here. I don't know if I will launch from in here. I can probably. It's much more difficult. But I will probably do that someday, just maybe not today. Okay, let's turn that off. I think we are ready to launch. I think she is ready to launch. We have vessel, let's look at orbit. Delta V, just preparing everything. I did not look for more contracts, but I'm mainly going for science and prestige anyway, and there will be a lot of world firsts whenever I do, so I think we're good. Let's get out of that. Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1, launch of the Moonlander, destined for the moon. Good luck, Valentina, and enjoy your journey. So far, the rocket is nominal. Staging is nominal. Valentina is having a blast. Alright, let's do a minor grav turn. So if we do have to abort, we're not on the launch pad blowing it up. Hopefully. Don't want to go too aggressive. But I do want my trajectory to change. I definitely want to start the grav turn a little bit higher. Let me throttle back just a little bit. We're going really fast. And it is definitely trying to get out of control. There we go. Throttle up. Oh, come on. Gonna have to abort now. That's a lot of velocity we're losing right there. I can keep going though. We'll try it. Oop. Didn't lose too much. Definitely lost quite a bit, but not too much. control. If I get to the moon with too little delta V, I will abort and just probably do a slingshot around and head back home. Yep, come on. Alright, let's turn on. Unlock these. Stop moving. There we go. Luckily, I'm mostly high enough in the atmosphere not to have too much of a problem here. With losing delta V, I'm just losing my trajectory, which is, in turn, destroying my delta V. But there we go. I can hopefully stay on this. This is a horrible launch. Literally horrible launch. I'm falling back to the planet now. Come on, recover. There we go. I may end up just doing a flyby of sorts. Really need to get out of the atmosphere. What I might do is just this right here. Let's go with the flow. I'm not even going to get into orbit with my main stage, which is just horrible. Yep, there goes main stage. Alright, we're getting there. Carrying a lot of speed up into suborbit, so shouldn't take much fuel to finish the circularization though, so. Problem is, we're not going to have much to circularize and slow down at the moon. That's the problem with this right now. Okay, so I have 450 Delta V in this stage, LV909 stage. Basically my transfer stage. And what I'm going to need to get to the moon is far more than that. I could actually keep burning right here. Whenever you launch, you basically just burn to the moon. But that was such a horrible launch that I'm not going to do that. No, prograde. Instead, I am going to circularize, wait for an orbit, and then burn one more time. And we're probably going to have to use my descent stage just to get where I want to go on the moon. And I don't think I'm going to be able to land, honestly. We'll see. We'll see. Even if I do land, I don't think I'll have what it takes to get back. Although, I could land, leave her there, and try to get a rescue out there ASAP. She has a little under 100 days worth of food. I wish I could tell her, hey, ration that out. You know, extend your time as much as possible. Don't eat all the snacks in one day. That would be nice. Not gonna happen, but it'd be nice. Wait till... Oh shit, went too far. Alright, that's fine. This isn't that important anyway. Just burn a little bit. Oops, not that much. Just a little bit north. As long as I get into a stable orbit, that is all that matters to me. And there, done. Yeah, she's happy now. She's in a stable orbit. However, she's not going to be happy that she might just see the moon up close, but that'll be a first for a Kerbal. Kerbals have not done that. We've had a probe, but we have not had a Kerbal. So, it's still going to be awesome for Kerbal kind. Okay, so that looks like a pretty damn good encounter right there. That's pretty good. Alright, so it's definitely not going to be a free return. 859 Delta V. Between the two stages, I can barely get to the moon. Which leaves me almost nothing to land and actually get home. I can get her very close, and she can actually collect science while close to the moon, which is probably what I'm going to do. As long as I don't land, I should be fine. But I'm going to do this. I'm going to see what we get. I am going to get as close as possible, and we're going to go from there. So, we have a burn in approximately 18 minutes. But I hate to do this to you. This is it for this episode. I have been Lezren. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Have a good night.